Welcome to the Dr. Wyatt Show podcast. For developing a long-lasting, happy relationship is the status symbol to achieve, and following my 6 marriage steps is a path to help get you there. I'm your host, Dr. Wyatt Fisher, a licensed psychologist specializing in marriage counseling. Remember, you can contact me on the Dr. Wyatt Show Monday through Thursday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time with your marriage questions. You can reach me at 720-307-7347. Today I'm going to talk about 4 reasons to ask for feedback from your partner. When was the last time you asked your partner how you could improve? What blind spots you have? How you could become better for them? You probably have never asked those questions. Most of us don't want to ask those questions because we're scared of what our partner's going to say. Are they going to criticize us, critique us, put us down? It's a little intimidating. Therefore, we shy away from it. We don't ask for feedback. We don't want feedback. We don't want to hear how we're doing. And because of that, our partner gets fed up with our behavior, and then they let us have it. They tell us what we're doing wrong. They tell us where we're coming up short. And then we do feel criticized, and then we get defensive. It creates bad blood in the relationship. But it's one of the most powerful pivots you can take as a partner is to get in the habit of regularly asking your partner how you are doing as their partner, how you could improve, how you could make some adjustments for them, how you could better serve them as their partner. Asking that question takes a lot of humility. It takes a lot of ego strength to ask that question. And it's one of the best things you can do in relationships because when you ask that question, it's a game changer. It makes your partner stop and consider, whoa, first of all, thank you for asking me. Second of all, let me think about it. Let me think about how you could get better. Let me think about adjustments you can make. And now they're inspired to ask you the same thing. It's a wonderful thing to initiate because it's going to inspire your partner to initiate the same question back to you. Think about a business context for a moment. What are great leaders known for? Well, they're known for a lot of things, but one thing great leaders do is they ask their subordinates for feedback on how well they are doing as their leader. And then when they get that feedback, they do something with the feedback. They make those adjustments. They listen to the feedback. They make those accommodations. And that is what a good leader does in business. So a good leader is constantly gathering feedback from their direct reports, from their subordinates, to see how their employees are feeling about them, and then they make needed adjustments. And when you do that, the employees feel listened to, they feel heard, they feel hope, they feel encouraged. Their motivation, their internal motivation just went up because they feel like their voice matters and they feel like you care. So the same principle applies in marriage. We need to be asking our partner on a regular basis, how am I doing? How can I improve? What changes do you want to see in me? And then we do something about it. We make those changes. We honor those requests. That requires a malleable heart, but it creates so much hope when you do that in your relationship. When I work with couples in my practice, one of the hardest things we get into is giving and receiving feedback on how each partner could improve. It's really treacherous land that we get into because inevitably one partner, when they're getting feedback, they'll get defensive or they get defeated. It's hard to receive feedback. So one thing I want to encourage you with is to start asking your partner, how could I improve for you? What changes would you love to see in me as your partner? If we went to bed tonight and a miracle happened and I became the best partner for you, how would life look different tomorrow morning? If you had a magic wand, what adjustments would you love to make in me to become a better partner for you? You can pick any of those frames that you want, but it's powerful when you initiate that question. Because when you initiate it, it's coming out of a place of strength because you're asking for the feedback. You're asking them to provide details on how you could get better. You're inviting them in to give you constructive criticism on how you could make changes for them. So, 4 reasons to ask for feedback. The first one is to show your strength. To show your strength. It takes strength to ask for feedback. People who are insecure and they have low self-esteem, they don't want to ask for feedback on how they could get better because they're scared to death to get that feedback. Don't be like that. Have strength, have courage. Show up and ask your partner, how could I improve for you? What changes would you love to see in me that would make you happier in our relationship? It shows you have strength. So the first reason to ask for feedback is to show your strength. That's going to make you look strong. When you're asking for that kind of feedback, it shows that you have enough ego strength to take it, that you're willing to listen because you're even asking the question. Now, when you ask that question, you're not allowed to rebuttal. So if you ask, how could I get better as a partner, and your partner gives you feedback on how you could get better, you are not allowed to rebuttal and retort or get defensive or pick apart what they just said about you. That's not allowed because then you just ask for feedback and then you're rebuffing it. That's off limits. So what you do once a day is ideal. You ask your partner, hey, how could I improve for you? How could I get better? And whatever they say, do not comment. Instead, just consider it. Say thank you for that feedback and then mull it over on your own time. Mull it over and consider the truth in their feedback. Consider the kernel of truth. Consider the piece that you know is accurate, the part that you know you could do better on. You just mull it over, but you don't rebuttal them when they give you that feedback. The second reason to ask for feedback is to show that you are teachable. Does your partner feel like you are teachable? When we're teachable, we're open to feedback. We're receptive. We're willing to consider it. That's a teachable spirit. Do you have a teachable spirit? If you were to ask your partner, do you think I'm teachable in our marriage? Would they say, absolutely, you're so open to my feedback? Or would they say, no, you're not. You're not open to my feedback. And when I bring up stuff, you get defensive. That's probably what most of our partners would say. They probably would say, nah, you're not very teachable. We don't want that. To be a good partner, you want your partner to think of you as teachable. So if you are going to them once a day and saying, how could I improve for you? Over the last 24 hours, what adjustments would you have loved to see me make to be a better partner for you? Or moving forward over the next day, what changes would you love to see me make to better serve you? When you are asking that question and you're getting the feedback and then you make adjustments, you're being teachable. And being teachable creates hope. You want to be that kind of partner. A teachable kind of partner. Number 3, the third reason to ask for feedback is to show you care. To show that you care. So many people in marriage become complacent. They become lazy. And then if their partner gives them feedback, they get defensive. So it comes off like you really don't care if your partner's happy. You really don't care if you're meeting their needs. All you care about is yourself. All you care about is if you're happy. But you want your partner to feel like you care about them. Do they? Does your partner feel like you care about their feelings and their experience of you and what it's like to be on the other side of you? They will feel like you care if you start asking this question. How could I improve for you? What changes would you love me to make? If you had a magic wand, what are some adjustments you'd love to see in me to better make you happy in our relationship? If you ask that question, it shows that you care. It shows that you want to become a better partner. It shows that you value being a good partner. The fourth reason to ask for feedback is to show that you are safe. Are you safe? Are you a safe person for your partner to give feedback? A lot of people are not safe. Because anytime their partner gives feedback, what happens? They get defensive. They get angry. They get irritable. Or they counterattack. Or they get defeated and give up. That makes you not safe. If I want to feel safe, I want to feel like I can go to you and say, hey, this is bothering me, or hey, this is hurting my feelings, and that you're going to be receptive to that and open to my feedback. Now, I need to make sure I'm doing it correctly, following the Reunite tool. That's how we do complaints. But are you safe? Are you safe for your partner to provide feedback? If you're initiating the question, how can I improve for you? And then they give you that feedback, and then you make adjustments, guess what? Over time, that's going to make you safe. And it's much better to ask that question than to have your partner volunteer it. It's much better for you to say, how can I improve for you, than to have your partner volunteer that information unsolicited. So you have a choice. You can either proactively ask your partner regularly, daily, how could I get better for you? What's one adjustment I can make that you would appreciate? When you ask it proactively, you're coming from a place of strength. That's much better than having your partner volunteer that information when we're not expecting it, and it catches us off guard. So when you're asking that question, and your partner gives you that feedback, and then you don't rebuttal, but instead you consider, and then you make adjustments, that makes you safe. That sends the message to your partner, I can give feedback. And not only can I give feedback, but it's acted upon. Now I feel hope, I feel encouraged, I want to do the same. I feel like our marriage can get resurrected and feel better. We can reach happiness now. So that creates safety when you're open to your partner's feedback. And at first, your partner might be a little scared when you ask them for feedback. Hey, how could I get better for you? At first, they may say, I don't know, because they're not used to you asking that question. And they might be used to you getting defensive. So it might take time for them to open up and really start providing more detailed feedback on how you could improve, because they're not used to you being safe. So the more you ask that question, and you don't rebuttal when they give you feedback, and then you make adjustments, you are becoming safe for them to have a voice and for them to speak into how you function as a partner. And that's what you want. So, 4 reasons to ask for feedback. Number 1 is to show your strength. Number 2 is to show you are teachable. Number 3 is to show you care. And number 4 is to show you are safe. Now, I've thrown out lots of different ways to frame the question, so I'm going to make a PDF document on the different ways you can say the question daily to your partner, how can I improve? And I'm going to make that into a PDF on my website. So if you go to drwyattfisher.com/pages/freebies, you'll see the PDF on ways to ask your partner how you can improve. So again, it's drwyattfisher.com, drwyattfisher.com/pages/freebies. Thank you for listening to the Dr. Wyatt Show podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to click the 5 stars and leave a review. And be sure to tell one person about the podcast today. Maybe it's a family member, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a colleague, someone that you know could benefit because of the content that's covered in these podcasts. And remember, your marriage is alive. If you care for it and nurture it, it will grow. But if you neglect it and deprive it, it will wilt and die. The choice is up to you. Take care.